What is going on in Antarctica? Regions that are completely off limits, strange lights seen in the sky, stories of hidden bases built deep underneath the ice. Is there any truth to it? Let's find out.
There are large sections of Antarctica that are completely off limits to the public. They're called the ASPA, Antarctic Specially Protected Areas. These are regions in Antarctica given special protection. The only people allowed to set foot there are scientists or military to make sure people don't mess with the ecosystems or disrupt the scientific research. But as we know, any top secret area is going to spark a lot of questions. So a lot of conspiracy theories about Antarctica stem from these protected areas. When people hear about no-fly zones or areas where only certain scientists can go, they start to wonder why. So are these restricted areas concealing more than your standard scientific research? Are there secret military bases involved in dangerous research, possibly even involving aliens? Since only a few are allowed in, it's easy for imaginations to conjure things up, but is there any evidence of disturbing stuff going on in the frozen tundra of Antarctica?
In the 1950s, Professor Charles Hapgood proposed a fabulous theory that hidden underneath the ice sheets is the lost city of Atlantis. If you know me, you know I absolutely love the ocean and the movie Atlantis, The Lost Empire, so I am all for this theory. Basically, and we have lots of videos on this, Antarctica used to be a subtropical landscape, and that's not just a theory, that's a fact. You can look it up. But what if that subtropical landscape just so happens to be the landscape of Atlantis, home to the incredibly intelligent and powerful Atlanteans? Furthermore, it is believed that prior to the entire city sinking into the ocean and being engulfed in ice, the Atlanteans migrated from Antarctica to Mexico to found Aztec and Mayan empires, and then to Egypt to create the Egyptian Empire as well. I mean, it would explain the similarities between the pyramids and hieroglyphics found in both locations. Something to think about. The presence of Atlanteans in Egypt, Mexico, and Antarctica might also explain the pyramids in Antarctica. Yeah. In 2016, 3 pyramids were discovered in Antarctica measuring up to 4,000 feet tall, meaning they are just about 10 times larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza located in Egypt, which previously held the record of largest pyramid in the world. While there are no records of ancient civilizations having existed in Antarctica, many people agree that that doesn't matter. Why? Well, because the entirety of Antarctica literally used to be a subtropical paradise, and now it's covered in 2,160 meters of ice. So I'm sorry, scientists, but you just might not be able to access the evidence because it's been buried under over 7,000 feet of ice for the past 34 million years. Of course, the other theory is that the aliens built the pyramid and then traveled to Mexico and Egypt to do the same thing there. 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, I guess. Either way, the existence of the Antarctic pyramids and the similarities they share with the pyramids found in the warmer regions of Egypt and Mexico are undeniable.
Operation Deep Freeze was a series of US Navy missions starting in 1955 to establish American research bases in Antarctica. The operation involved tons of military personnel, scientists, and staff, but during some of these missions there were a few reports from crew members and scientists about strange things they'd spot in the sky over Antarctica. Unusual lights or objects moving in ways that didn't match any known aircraft. These reports aren't nearly as well known as others that come to mind, and a lot of that has to do with, one, how remote Antarctica is. There just weren't mass amounts of people to corroborate the sightings, and two, the people who were there were government employees. So much of what they were doing wasn't allowed to be disclosed, even leaving UFOs out of the picture. One of the most famous UFO sightings over Antarctica happened in 1965, though. During a period of intense scientific research in the continent, researchers spotted something in the sky. It was near the Antarctic coast where a group of researchers had been working. They reported seeing an unusual object that didn't look like any known aircraft. According to the reports, the object was bright and metallic, moving in these sporadic, unpredictable patterns. It changed direction suddenly and moved at speeds that seemed far too fast for any technology that was known at the time. Now, at this same time, there were very few aircraft in the region, making this whole thing even stranger.
All right, buckle up, because for this next one, we've got the rhymes with Yahtzees, aliens, and nuclear weapons. That's right, there is a theory that states that Antarctica is actually a secret, oppressive Germany circa World War II military base dedicated to housing advanced technologies and massive nuclear weapons that could quite literally eradicate all of us in a matter of minutes, if whoever is currently running the base decided to set them all off at once. To make matters worse, a recent evidence shows that a secret military base close to the North Pole, located in northwest Greenland, might be used for the same thing. So, if whoever they are wanted, they could probably take out the whole planet. Not comforting. Now, some people take the whole thing a step further by bringing aliens into the mix, saying that the advanced technologies are actually out of this world technologies brought to Earth by our extraterrestrial alien friends. Now, if we have extraterrestrial allies, who's to say we don't have otherworldly adversaries as well? Maybe the advanced tech is to protect us rather than destroy us. One can only hope.
For decades, there have been rumors that the Third Reich also set up a secret base in Antarctica during World War II. The Third Reich were known for their interest in mysticism and the occult, always on the hunt for ancient artifacts they believed had special powers to help them conquer the world, and some people think they might have been searching for something hidden deep in the frozen tundra of Antarctica. Either that or they were experimenting with advanced high-tech weapons, Antarctica being perfect given how remote it is. Some even think these secret research projects carried on after the war ended, and after the Second World War in 1946 and 47, the US did send a large naval fleet to Antarctica in an operation called Operation High Jump. The official reason was to train personnel and test equipment, but some conspiracy theorists believe the real mission was to find and destroy this alleged German base, to take out the remnants of their forces and their secret projects for good. Or maybe they were shown up to take over the research for themselves.
Take a look at this 130-foot tall, nearly perfect rectangular iceberg. Does it look natural to you? Yeah, me neither. There are a ton of these strangely geometric icebergs scattered throughout Antarctica. Why? Well, the scientific explanation is that they naturally formed after part of an iceberg broke off of a much larger iceberg, which is cool and all, but not nearly as interesting as the leading conspiracy theory. You see, many people believe that the icebergs were carved by aliens thousands of years ago as some kind of launching pad or secret base. Scientists say that's ridiculous because not every corner of the iceberg is perfect, only some. I mean, they were carved thousands of years ago. Ever heard of erosion? Next thing you know, they're gonna start saying that the pyramids weren't created by ancient Egyptians, but after a rock broke off a bigger rock because the top isn't perfectly pointy. Nice try, scientists. Perhaps the government shares the secret underground base with the aliens, and that is why they are so keen on keeping us out and taking every possible precaution to make sure we don't find out the truth about what really goes on in the Great White South.
Now, moving outside of the conspiratorial and theoretical realm for a moment, let's talk about a very real and very mysterious lake in Antarctica, Lake Vostok, the largest known subglacial lake in the continent. The lake is buried beneath more than 2 miles of ice, so what makes this place extra special? Well, it's been sealed off from the world for about 15 million years. That means whatever's swimming around down there has been doing its thing in total isolation for longer than humans have been around. The lake is pretty much one big prehistoric time capsule. It was completely untouched by the outside world for millions of years, but scientists have started attempting to explore it. It's not easy though. They gotta set up camp in one of the coldest places on Earth and then drill through ice thicker than your average skyscraper is tall, while trying not to contaminate the water down below. But in 2012, scientists did confirm they found living organisms in the lake, microbes living in a place where no one expected life to thrive. So, who knows what else could be lurking even deeper down? Speaking of deeper down, here's Hannah.
Is Antarctica actually the entrance to center Earth? Well, Maybe. It's a story as old as time, or, well, a story as old as the conspiracy theory at least. There are, believe it or not, a group of people who believe that an asteroid that crashed into Antarctica millions of years ago caused a crack in the Earth that revealed a secret utopia. In 2006, scientists working in Antarctica discovered a crater deep underneath the permafrost, and of course, they believe the crater had been formed by an asteroid. But conspiracy theorists believe that scientists aren't telling the whole truth. They say that the crater actually cracked right through the top layer of Earth to reveal that tropical paradise that is now the go-to vacation hotspot for the world's global elites, presidents, celebrities, and perhaps aliens too. There are also theories out there that say that the asteroid really did just create a crater, but that crater is where the soldiers from World War II Germany set up camp. Alongside the aliens, of course. I'm back. I just went to Antarctica really quick.
Yeah, we have a transporter that does that now. We have one of the CIA high jump things. All right, with all that said, folks, we're going to catch you in the next video.
Cheers.